More mindless musings of friends while I watch someone else suck at Dark Souls.
Kelsey Grammer's career, though, what an amazing achievement.
He's entering the free fall of his career now, isn't he?
He might be. You never know.
He's not quite Cameron Mitchell yet, is what you're saying.
Every night is a Tom's festival.
He's a Kelsey Mitchell. Yo, I say it's not even Money Plane we should be watching right now. It should be Suburban Sasquatch.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Like the most incompetent movie on the planet, apparently. I've got friends who've recently watched that in the last week, and they say it's like they've watched Neil Breen movies, and they say it's worse than that. And the best thing about
Really?
the best thing about Suburban Sasquatch is that it's got a director who's the opposing thing of Neil Breen. He's like a genuinely serious film buff who is like trying to make a real movie, and it's the most. And he's just, he can't get it right.
I'm seeing if anywhere online is streaming this thing. Tubi? I never heard of this.
I've heard of it.
Isn't that the character from Nier Automata?
Tubi, not number 2, letter B.
I think it's available for free with commercials.
I was gonna say,
maybe...
like my friend, the ways they were on about it sounded like it was on YouTube, the full thing.
Oh, let me check YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe just a UK server. Yeah, it's not fully here.
Never mind, it's no loss.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Suburban Sasquatch, whatever will we do? So, wait, you don't think Neil Breen is trying his best when he makes a movie?
Okay, Neil Breen, when he like is directing, and then he gives like an interview like, what do you think my movies are about? He's clearly up his own ass. Like he doesn't know what the hell he's on about, right? This guy sounds like a real director, okay? The guy who made Suburban Sasquatch. He sounds like he's trying to take his job deadly serious, but the thing you're watching is it makes Neil Breen movie look bad in comparison. Like, it is so incompetent, it's charming.
Neil Breen movies are how he believes himself to be God.
Yeah, every single one of them he plays Magneto.
They're cult indoctrination films. I swear.
But he's
Neil
a real
Breen
estate
makes
agent.
Cult indoctrination films. Isn't he an architect?
I think he used to be. He retired or quit or found his passion in making movies.
Yeah, he ain't no architect. He's a real
And
estate
starting
agent.
his own cult.
Like, if people knew he was no architect, he was a real estate agent, his whole Messiah thing would go straight to Satan.
What's the Creed?
Being a real estate agent. A friend of mine's a real estate agent.
What was the whole Creed thing from The Office? Like, I've been in a number of cults. I found out that you have more fun as a member, but you make more money as a leader.
That's a great speech.
Oh, it's true.
Sasquatch. If we made Kieran watch that movie, he'd kill us.
Yeah, he doesn't like garbage movies for some reason.
I mean, this is a garbage movie, but it's so entertaining because it's just so off the wall funny. Remember that? That's the movie. That's the one.
What's the actual sound effect? Like a gorilla mating? And you know what? It'll probably will be better than cats.
Yes. It most likely will.
Was that the worst thing we've ever watched?
Seriously, we've watched way worse things than that. We watched Neil Breen movies. Which Turtle Dreams?
Turtle Dreams was short. It was a half hour of my life. Like
But you're beginning to sound like Mike. Every bad thing you watch redefines like your interpretation of what you've watched overall. Like, no, the evidence is there. We've been through a lot of shit. We've been through mountains of crap already.
We watched Easter Day.
We watched Star Wars Holiday Special.
Didn't we watch Thanksgiving?
Did we? I don't remember that.
Whoa, the killer turkey. Maybe
No,
we
He's
could
right though.
watch that
Hey,
together.
he's right though. We did watch the Star Wars Holiday Special. You, Joe. Screw you.
Happy Life Day.
Happy, such a relative word. Yeah, we've seen some real doozies.
But Cats was a real movie. Like,
Although, a movie we still have not gotten around to watching is that one that Joe keeps bringing up that he wants to watch. That David Dakota thing.
wait, no, definitely
I
not.
know
Ever.
he keeps bringing it up.
No, I bring it up in the sense that I never want to see it. But case in point, I'm not even mentioning the name because I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
Why, Carl? Because you mean D.B. Cooper versus Bigfoot?
Oh, God.
I want to say that at least once so I can look David Dakota in the eye and say, buddy, you are so gay. Like, just put the wig down or whatever, the beard, and just do it already. Like, divorce the wife, say goodbye to the kids, and just get yourself a fella.
Buddy, you're saying you want to watch a homosexual porno with your friends.
But it's not even that, it's a homosexual horror.
It's not. I'm wrong. It's technically not a porno, but it's as close as you can get to being a porno without being a porno.
Don't forget, it's a big name label thing. It's got Eric Roberts in it.
Of course.
As like the opening narration for 5 lines, and then he's never in it again.
It has somebody else that's relatively big for one of these movies. Linnea Quigley, I think her name is. And I'm pretty sure she has like only one line. She gives D.B. Cooper a card.
So who's Linnea Quigley then?
I don't know. A stewardess, maybe?
No, I don't mean in the movie. I mean the actual, who is she in general?
An actress. Let me look up what she did. Oh, God. I'm going to the IMDb for D.B. Cooper versus Bigfoot. 1.4 stars.
Sounds reasonably appropriate.
Well, she's not on the IMDb. Oh, yes, she is. She's in quite a lot, but most of them are B movies. Well, she was in Pumpkinhead too, so that's something.
Wait, the original or the first one? Sorry, the...
Pumpkinhead 2.
Oh, right, okay. I mean, the original's a great movie.
And she was in The Guyver.
Wait, MacGyver or The Guyver?
The Guyver.
Oh, with whatever his name is, the guy who played Solid Snake.
Was
Yeah, you didn't know? David Hayter is the lead character of those Guyver movies.
I thought he was only in the second one, but alright.
Yeah, but he did that with Mark Hamill.
The first one he did, yes.
You get Solid Snake and Mark Hamill.
That's what we gotta watch, The Guyver.
Yeah, and then he was in Gundam after that.
Who?
David Hayter.
Who was in Gundam?
He plays a character called Bernie Wiseman in War in the Pocket. It's only a 6-episode thing, but it's really, really good.
You ever read the Guyver manga?
No. It's essentially just alien Sentai anyway, so what am I missing?
It's pretty good. Like, I've only ever seen the anime, but the anime from a couple of years ago followed the manga pretty well, from what I heard. But the coolest thing is, it did like something really interesting. It had like a villain called Anton, and his whole gimmick was he's one of those bad guys that gets stronger by eating other bad guys, essentially. So, like, you know, he eats another one of his own alien whatevers, and he evolves into something more dangerous. And it was
so it's kind of like Goro in One Punch Man. Like the guy's not actually, he's learning from all these characters.
Yeah,
that he's fighting against.
But anyway, like, he's gotten to the point where he's become like a serious threat because he's betrayed so many of his own men. He's eating them or whatever. And then the real main villain shows up towards the end of the show, a guy called Arkenfeld, who's basically like an alien god, and like he just completely obliterates Anton like without showing the least amount of effort. Kind of like Saitama showing up. Like, wait, you were the one everybody was scared of? I thought some crazy shit was happening here.
That's kind of like the reverse Worf effect. Like your villain is the gauge upon like, oh no, this guy's super strong, this guy's super powerful, and then somebody just turns up and puts him in his place instantly.
And then they like really like play up just how powerful Arkenfeld is. 'Cause they have the heroes temporarily stop him by having him sucked into a black hole, only for him like to claw his way out, like just brag about it, like I've returned from the event horizon. You ain't getting rid of me. like over the top doesn't even begin to describe Guyver.
Oh yeah, they constantly push it to see like what's the limit of your expectations and go beyond that.
I just realized I'm still on DB Cooper's Bigfoot's IMDb. Why?
Get off it, you idiot!
I should check what Suburban Sasquatch has on IMDb. And I'm suddenly remembering we watched Robot in the Family.
Yes, we did. Very perilous night. Ironically, I think that was in the same kind of quality that they watched on Red Letter Media. It was just like the worst thing ever on VHS.
Apparently Suburban Sasquatch has a higher rating than DB Cooper.
Oh, interestingly enough, I was wanting to tell you guys about this for like the last few weeks. About Robot in the Family. You know, that is like one of the few movies in the VHS market in the 90s that was like actually smear campaign. They wanted to get rid of it. It's the whole movie's Jewish, like anti-Jewish propaganda.
Yeah.
Like Gold Digger. I gotta what the flowers? Hey, you ain't made of gold. You know, it's like the most hilariously like over the top kind of overt thing ever. And the director of that movie is so embarrassed by its existence that he wants it erased. It's basically the Star Wars holiday special for the director.
Why did he do it in the first place?
Because he thought it was a good idea. He didn't realize he wasn't writing the script. Somebody else was.
The movie had John Rhys Davis, for crying out loud.
And Joey Pants. And a special guest by Tommy Wiseau before he was famous.
Pretty sure that was Joey Pants putting on a bad accent. But Phil, what you're describing is Alien 3. David Fincher doesn't want anything to do even remotely affiliated with that film.
Dude, Terminator does the same thing with Victory Gundam. Don't buy these DVDs because you shouldn't buy them. And everybody was like, but why though? Then you actually watch it and it's like, oh, this is why you got put in the psychiatric hospital. Okay.
But what annoys me is David Fincher actually is a good director.
He made Zodiac. He made Fight Club.
But my point is, Alien 3 could have been a very good movie if the studio just left him the fuck alone.
Hey, you know what? Alien 3 is a friggin' masterpiece in comparison to Alien Resurrection. That's on Joss Whedon.
Well, he only wrote the script. In fact, I think he made a movie called Mank just last month. Yeah, Josh Trank also made The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. You ever watch that?
I have heard of it. I've never actually watched it.
It's a pretty good movie.
It's the
Very
one where
sad.
the guy... Yeah, it's the guy who he's born as an old man and he gradually gets younger, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know the concept.
Trank gets to team up with Brad Pitt again.
Why? What did he do originally with him?
Wait. Am I getting this wrong?
You said
Brad
Trank.
Pitt?
You said Trank, not Fincher.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, Josh Trank was the guy who did the Fantastic Four remake.
I'm sorry, I meant David Fincher.
You're the one who brought up his name.
I must be falling asleep then. But that is no. That guy he's done nothing except for oh god, what was the movie called? I can't even remember. The one with the kids with psychic powers. It's like a done found footage style.
Carol was always on about this to us. She wanted us to watch it at some point. Misfits or something?
I thought.
No, Misfits is a TV show, a different thing.
Let's look it up now.
Is
Wait,
it
what are you talking
paranormal?
about?
Which is the movie, the found footage movie with kids trying out superpowers?
Huh?
Yeah.
Chronicle.
Chronicle.
Never even heard of that.
Movie.
Okay. Never even heard of it.
Dude, it's just a directional style, really, at the end of the day. That's all it is.
Most of them make me want to vomit.
Wait, is it because of motion kind of capture, essentially? You know, the perspective?
I guess.
It's not for everybody. I mean, how did you handle Cloverfield originally?
Not well.
The original Cloverfield?
Yeah. Blair Witch?
I thought it was boring.
I never took to the Blair Witch.
Blair Witch I thought was okay.
So scary.
I didn't think it was, like, great, but I thought it was okay.
I remember when that came out, everybody was kind of like, oh, this is the scariest movie ever. And then recently, the week before, I was watching The Thing and kind of like The Exorcist.
Oh, I remember people talking about that in school, too. It was like 5th grade for me. I don't know.
Yeah, come on, you've watched it. It's just a bunch of like frightened girls in the forest. That's it.
And boys. But yeah. It still sucks.
Exactly. I had a cousin who watched that originally, and she was just like, "Oh, it was the scariest thing I've ever seen."
Sure, cats.
Ah, the bunny death scream.
I saw Robot of the Family. That's probably the
Oh,
scariest thing
God,
I've
that
ever
was
seen.
awful.
Do your best. I've seen John Rhys Davis trying to save an art store. I love how we don't even talk about the plot in Robot and the Family.
We had a plot.
It had a plot, yeah, exactly. Some guy creates a faux pas Jewish robot that is obsessed with profit and stealing it from other things.
They had to find a thing in a statue.
Yes, it's a thing in a statue movie. You're right, yeah.
That's as far as the plot goes.
That's as far as my comprehension went. Jesus Christ, I could not delve deeper.
I couldn't really pay attention, so...
Carol, it was chaos. That movie is the definition
It was
of chaos.
stupid.
It's like actually
It's annoying.
chaos. Let all noise in the background to a scene should subside to allow characters to talk. Therefore, you can use dialogue and you can learn from that, right? In that movie, 7 characters were just wailing at each other at the same time in a kitchen sequence, and you're just trying to make out, dear God, what is happening? Where's the sense in this?
Rather ironic that was the final best of the worst before lockdown.
They came back and did more. Still planning on doing a 100th episode in the next week.
Way to go out on a low note or high note. I don't know. How do you rate these?
Well, they discovered
On
a
a bad
hidden
note.
gem. Like when Mike is picking best of the worst at the end of that episode, he doesn't even say anything. He just looks at the tape, doesn't he?
To be honest, I was more entertained by their review of the Leo Fong movie. The one where he chases after the bad guy, only to go somewhere completely different to ask where the bad guy is, only for him to get the information that the bad guy was at the last place he was chasing the bad guy.
They filmed it out of structure. Come on, they filmed it out of like the right cost. There's a pacing to the movie, and that was probably supposed to be the last 20 minutes of it. They kind of filmed it really short, so it looks like that.
But maybe? Or maybe they were just trying to stretch the runtime.
But editing matters.
Yeah, editing matters. Super huge and unknown quantity that not many people take advantage of. Storyboard your goddamn movie, please, please. Do a John Carpenter, and,
After surviving the Snyder Cut, editing definitely matters. They have like nearly a 15-minute sequence in that movie where Wonder Woman's people, the Amazons, are firing an arrow. And I'm like, why is the arrow sequence still going?
Cut it down. It's 4 hours and 15 minutes. No, cut it down though. Ah!
We don't even need to see them fire the arrow. We just have Wonder Woman's mom say we shot the arrow and have Diana find it.
I mean, we've seen great editing. What about Silent Night, Deadly Night 2?
Garbage day!
Yeah. Naughty
Isn't
this.
Isn't the entire first half of that movie a recap of the original movie?
Just to get us to the best bit.
It's actually not just a recap, it's like clips from the first one. Oh gosh.
But like the scene with the Santa getting killed on the payphone and stealing the costume from him, all of it audible, all of it like in the background. They had no budget. They didn't have a license to film inside the store. They just did it slowly as the camera pans and you hear noises.
The best is how they couldn't get the actress who played the nun back from the clips from the first movie. So her face is
very naughty.
So her face is just horribly burned in the climax of the movie for no reason.
For no reason.
I think that movie Weathering with You made me hate Your Name.
What?
Yeah.
Is it because it's the sequel to it?
It's weird like how you would classify this movie. It's kind of a sequel, it's kind of a spin-off, because those two characters are in the movie, but they're just in very minor roles.
Okay. Are they actually a couple in the movie because it's a sequel? Or...
They're never shown together.
What?
Yeah.
What?
But I was downloading all of my music for my new computer yesterday. And then the song from Your Name comes up, and I remember really liking that song a couple of years ago. And then I'm listening to it, and I'm like, ugh, this has reminded me of Weathering with You. Ugh, fuck it, delete.
Tainted forever.
It's kind of weird, like how a sequel or spin-off had that much of an impact on me.
It's because you're easily influenced. You're a casual.
Casual.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you deleted your soundtrack to something you once cherished because the existence of another thing doesn't detract or make the other thing invalidated. Like, some people don't like... Okay, some people don't like the FF7 remake. Like, they still love the original.
I think the
Yeah,
problem
they don't
is...
hate the original because it got remade.
I think the problem is... Your Name had a very happy ending. And Weathering with You did not have a happy ending, so the happy ending of Your Name is kind of forever ruined for me, just because of this other movie's existence.
Yeah, but Your Name, well, whatever it's called, Weathering with You, Grave of the Fireflies, or Silent Voice.
What, in terms of depression, in terms of anger, what emotion?
In terms of which one for a movie night?
Oh, for Christ.
Oh, I can't deal with Grave of the Fireflies.
Why is that? Because it's the saddest movie in existence. It is friggin' beautiful, though, you gotta admit. It's the greatest movie you never want to see ever again.
Because I don't deal with children dying anymore.
I don't think anybody does, Carol.
I don't deal well with that either.
It used to be easier for me because it's not real. It's not
Wait, are you saying it
physically
used to be...
happening right now to a child I know.
Okay, but I refuse to believe that any person can say to me, I used to be okay with watching Grave of the Fireflies regardless of, like, everything that was involved in it.
Okay, I think Grave of the Fireflies is actually a beautiful, well-told story. Extremely sad, yes. Horrifically sad, I mean, yeah, I bawled my frickin' eyes out when I watched it.
You just want to give one of those characters a hug, for Christ's sake.
And I was so mad at a community that would let children live like that and starve to death. When the boy was stealing melons from one of the farmers, the farmer could tell that the child was severely malnourished and extremely thin, and he even said he was trying to get something to feed his little sister. A farmer should have let the kids have the damn melons. It's not like those babies could eat that much.
Know what I learned from weathering with you? Shinto gods are evil douchebags, but you do not want to piss them off.
They're not evil douchebags, they're more forces of nature.
Well, yeah, that too. But my point still stands. Like, you do not want to piss them off, because they'll be crueler than the Greek gods. Or the Norse.
I mean, they were a bit capricious, but they weren't particularly cruel. The cruel ones were the Aztec and Mayan.
I don't know, weathering with you kind of seems like a movie, almost like a propaganda movie for kids, like Fear Shinto Gods.
And yes, the kami should be feared.
Depends on the kami.
At least respected.
Yeah, respected probably, but you gotta remember, Carol, a lot of kami are morons. Childlike, innocent, selfish morons.
Well, they're just aspects of nature, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Ooh.
Is that one game still coming out? The one where you play as the Monkey King?
Oh, Sun Wukong? I think that's a Chinese project game. There was like a game that was like teased late last year and it blew everybody away. It was only ever a graphics kind of like demo, but it went down so well that company is now thinking of actually doing it.
Oh, so it was never like a real game.
No, it was never actually a real game. But like every single thing in that graphic demo that they did, like that's everything the character did in mythology and like books. Like the throwing of the hair, creating clones of himself, like using different staffs to actually like based on his own.
The pole that, got insanely long.
He extends on his own command. Yeah, like, he was the crown of greed as well, like a burden to him. Like it's the character. Like it's genuinely fascinating and interesting, and I'm actually hoping they do make a full like blown game of it.
Part of me wonders if is Journey to the West like the original Supernatural.
Kind of.
Like, it has a very loose plot. Like, we got to get to the West. We got to get that tea. And that's just a very loose framework for all these Adventure of the Week type scenarios.
But there's some like really iconic characters there in it as well. It's not just the four companions. Like, there's the story arc in Journey to the West, which results in basically real life the android saga from Dragon Ball. The artificial man. Like, that's in Journey to the West.
I know, buddy. I own the book, but it's a weird story because it's hardly a story.
Yeah, it depends on the interpretation.
It's kind of like a framework for a lot of interesting short stories. But like Supernatural's the best comparison I can think of. We gotta find Dad. Let's go save these people from this ghost. We gotta find Dad. Let's go kill a Wendigo.
I gotta go find Dad. Hey, look, demons. It's Lando.
Or maybe the X-Files is another good comparison. I need to find my sister. Shapeshifter. I need to go find my sister. I don't know. Ghost.
I need to get to my sister's wedding. As Rich once said.
Wait. What's our loose framework for Ryan's babe? He has to get home?
He just has to go home. What in God's name?
But we didn't hate Ryan's babe. Like, we weren't miserable.
It was a confusing mess.
Well, like I said, it sounded like a half dozen people all said, hey, I've got this idea for a movie. And these weird things will happen, but I haven't worked enough out to make a full movie out of it. And someone took all these little bits and pieces and was like, I'm going to put them all together and make them a movie. Not make them work together, just be parts of a movie. So we come up with this disjointed, nonsensical mess.
Hoping that Ryan would have learned something by the end of it. Nope, he does not. Immediately gets into trouble.
What was that one movie we saw? With the lady Terminator from the prison planet?
Alienator.
Oh, Alienator. That was terrible.
Jan Michael Vincent.
I have no idea who she is. Is she like a bodybuilder or a wrestler?
You're precious, Joe.
I'm falling asleep.
It's a dude.
Oh, it's a dude. Oh, it's the prison guy,
Airwolf.
right?
It's Airwolf.
I'm falling asleep.
I don't think he knows what you're talking about, Phil.
Oh my god. 2
Oh,
Jet Michael
useful.
Vincents. 3 Jet Michael
Oh,
Vincents.
the guy who was constantly drunk, right?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, but he had an amazing hairspray on his head.
Most
The
of
guy
that,
who was in a movie that we watched called Damnation Alley. Oh, and he was also in Death Wish 3.
Yeah, he was in Wait, he was in Death Wish 3? Where was he?
Yeah. He was one of the thugs.
Okay.
that narrows it down. Only how
Yeah.
many got gunned down in that film?
Oh, all of them got gunned down. One of them got rocket launched at the very end.
That was
Wish
a fun
3,
bad
also,
movie.
Also
He's
known
in a
as...
He's been in a lot.
And the
Also
reason we watched
known as-
Damnation Alley was because he had just passed away.
Charles Bronson shoots absolutely everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I think the most amazing thing about when we watched Death Wish 3 was we're watching that movie, and we see who the police chief was, and he's instantly the guy from The Sweeper,
Yeah,
which we saw just like a couple nights prior.
Yeah, perfection. Like the very week after, it's the same guy from Justice Incorporated.
Oh, that was quite the movie. Not nearly enough Jeff Fahey in that one.
You got to see him surf on top of a motorcycle.
Yeah, I know, but there just wasn't enough Jeff Fahey.
Yeah, but he's a real actor, Carol. My favorite part of The Sweeper was when he's chasing the bad guy throughout the building, and you see outside, it's clearly daylight. And then the moment they get into the cars, it's suddenly night.
That's not the only movie we've seen stuff like that in.
Death Wish 3 should be just called Charles Bronson just kills everybody in that generation. Like every single person in America from that age group gets killed. Are you 18 to 22? You're done.
I love that he parks the car in front of the gang's hideout. What are you doing? That's my car. Now you're gonna die, old man.
Nah, you gotta die. And he's just like, nope. Blows him away on the spot. The whole thing is just him like pointing and shooting at things. Who gets the most dramatic fall?
Oh, I love the dummy for the one guy.
He probably kills more people in that than like Starship Troopers does in his first half hour. And I'm talking about Buenos Aires too, getting absolutely wiped from the planet.
Of course. We can thank the Mormons for that.
doing my part.
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say, let's be friends.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
I feel like that guy's been in a lot of things. I don't know his name. He has like one of the best lines in it.
How have we not watched that yet?
Troopers?
Yeah.
We've seen it that many times. We can watch it anytime we want.
Yeah, but we watch things we've all seen all the time.
Like, we keep saying, one of these days, RoboCop 2, one of these days, Terminator. Like, I would love to sit down and watch Terminator 2 with you guys. Like, that would be like a highlight of the year for me.
You gotta be quiet, though. We can't pull another The Thing.
But we've watched it so many times.
Who's we?
Oh, don't give me that. You've not seen it before. It's like one of the most famous action movies ever. Might be the finest ever.
Terminator's not exactly my thing.
Once isn't so many
I
times.
think I've seen Terminator 2 once. Yeah.
Oh, you lie.
No.
Are you serious?
Terminator series is
Yeah.
garbage. Shut up.
No,
First
the first
two
two
are
movies
actually good.
Amazing.
Meh.
Both of them I've seen once. I'm not even certain that I've seen Terminator 2. Which is the one with Robert Patrick?
Terminator
That's
2.
Okay, I saw it one time.
Oh my god.
My dad showed it to me when I was, I don't know, when did that movie come out? 91?
Wee Joseph.
5? Maybe 6? I remember watching the ending with my dad.
Here, son, happy 5th birthday. Here's this 18 rated movie. Yes, Dad, yes.
Because why
Yeah,
not?
I've only seen it once.
My folks were like, okay, here's son, this is how the VCR works. Record all of the filth, smut, horror you desire. Thanks, Mom and Pop.
I mean, they were okay with me watching Wayne's World.
That's a comedy for like 12-year-olds of that generation.